It's my great pleasure to ask one of my dearest friends, who's actually much younger than me. He was a friend of a cousin of mine, and I used to see him and my cousin play as little children. But now he's grown to be one of the most important people for Sindh and Sindhis, not only in America, but I would say all over. So it's my pleasure to introduce Sufi Laghari to come and request him to introduce the next speaker. Sufi, thank you.
Thank you for everyone. I would like to introduce you not only my friend, but he is my area councillor member, and he's going to be running for the mayor for DC. And I want to tell you the major introduction. Probably you can Google about him or know through the on our website. But I want to give you the introduction that how I met him. Tommy Wells. Tommy Wells is going to be running for 2014 for mayor for DC. Our friends, Dr. Bhatti said that mayor for DC is very powerful in different ways. I actually contact for some personal things to a councillor member in Washington DC. And I got the reply very quickly. Then I decide to keep in touch with him, and I left my email. And suddenly I got the email that he's going to run for the mayor for DC. So I said, okay, let me go to meet him sometimes. And I got the email that his campaign is going to be start such and such date, and if you are free, you can come. So I took the cab, and going to one address. I was on the way, and I saw there are some people are standing under the tree, 2-3 people. And I said, this person look like the mayor for DC is running, and he is going to run for DC? Because in Pakistan, if any member of our parliament or mayor for Hyderabad or Karachi, he has definitely big guns and a lot of big cars and something like Prodo cars. And this person is just standing. I'm not sure he's going to be run for DC and win for DC. But I stopped the taxi, said, this is the person, please stop here. So then I met him. And I said, sir, you are going to be run for mayor for DC? He said, yes. Are you going to be join with me in the bus? I said, which bus? The bus, just bus. I said, well, this is great. So we went in the bus, and then went to that area. There were so many people over there. So many people. And their songs. Tommy Wells, Tommy Wells. I said, my God, I have to learn from this man. And then I said, sir, I would like to really introduce you my community, Sindhi community in Washington, D.C. We have a program. I really appreciate. There are not many in this district, but I am very popular in this districts too. Because if you go in this districts, maybe one day I will be run for in your place too, in this area too. I'm not campaigning for myself, but I really ask the people who are in DC area, please help our friend Tommy Wells. And I'm very happy that really when walk and talk and meeting different people in bars and different places and songs, I'm positive you're going to listen to him and his speech, and listen not through mind, listen from heart. And I'm not going to be take your more time. Please welcome to my friend Tommy Wells.
Well, Munawar, I remember that very well. And you came up to me under the tree and you said, "Are you Tommy Wells?" And I said, "Yes." And you said, "You're running for mayor, right?" yes, and you were so uncertain, but I know you would have not let your taxi cab go unless you weren't certain that that was me under that tree. So we rode the bus together, and that was a very great start. Amazingly, the bus was on time, and we went to the announcement, and I have to tell you, it rained, and so I really felt like everybody that was there really wanted to be there. So, but thank you for being a part of that. That meant a lot to me, and also for all you do in this community. This is part of the ward I represent, Ward 6, right here at the Channel Inn along the channel here, and it is a great part of Washington. So I am honored to be here. And let me just say that in listening to the talks and the speeches, let me say to Congressman Sherman, this is at times a very difficult time in our country and our elected leadership, that there's a lot of the message goes out that we're intolerant, we're anti-people that aren't originally from America, and sometimes we have a very mean face to the rest of the world. And Congressman, you really show what's best about our country, make me very proud that you are, the story that I heard about you right off the bat saying, I'm going to be part of this, and that you listened and you are now providing leadership, makes me proud of my federal government, where sometimes I'm not as proud. And so thank you for your leadership, and I'd like to give you a hand as well. One of the things about being here, which is a great opportunity for me, is to learn more about the diversity of the different people that make up this great country and also make up this great city. Washington, D.C. is the fastest growing city in America. And it's a city that you can see that we're building quite rapidly. We've gone through a recession that's affected the whole world. But D.C., for now, is a growing city, a vibrant city, and why this group, what you're doing, is so important. In my estimation, from what I can tell in my, meager observation of our country, Washington, D.C. is the indispensable city for the next 15 years. As our world goes through uncertainty, as different wars break out, but also with the financial instability all through the world, that this is, and then now with what we call the Asian shift, that D.C., it's not strange that it's growing, that the world's eyes are on our city. And the truth is that in running for local leadership, in looking to become the mayor of Washington, I am very aware that the rest of the world's eyes are upon us, and that how we act and how we treat those that live within our boundaries and the aspirations and how we act, hopefully, is a message to the rest of the world. And we have certainly made great strides on issues of marriage equity and in other issues related to really showing that we are a compassionate city and that we take care of the people of Washington and that we embrace our diversity, is something that I know that we have to try to be a beacon. We have to be responsible, and we have to do this in a way that really shows for our country well. But let me also say that here in the nation's capital, much like the Sindhi people in Pakistan, we do not have all the same rights and representation in our national government. That in Washington, D.C., while we fight in our wars, we pay the same amount of taxes, and we take the responsibility of stewardship of the nation's capital very seriously. And we also understand that we must be a model for the world, especially during these uncertain times. But what we share is the indignity that we do not have a vote in our national government, that we are not represented, and that in the most powerful body, the Senate, and then the House, that, again, the people of Washington, D.C. do not have an elected representative. But that does not mean at any time that we lose or can put aside any level of our citizenship and the responsibilities that come with that. We are citizens of the United States of America. We are citizens of the nation's capital, and we have a duty and responsibility to continue to make our country proud, but also show the obligations of citizenship in a way that makes us all proud. Now, as I've learned more and more about the Sindhi people and learn about tolerance, compassion, liberalism, that we share together a vision for not just our communities, not just one province or one city, but truly share a vision for a world that not only is tolerant, but it's a world that can heal those that are injured, a world that takes care of us in the beginning of our lives and takes care of all of us towards the end of our lives equally, with dignity, and in a way that we are not really judged by our religion, judged by our language, or judged in any other way. And that's what I hope for the best of our country, of the United States, because we're a country that is made up of peoples from all across the world, including you. And so we have a duty to really build upon and show and lead to our aspirations. And that's part of why you're here, calling us and calling on our elected officials. I love that you have formed a PAC. That's one of the most American of things to do. A political action committee, in order to see that your voice is heard, your interest is promoted. And that's why I'm thrilled to see the number of congressmen that are involved in this PAC. But again, I cannot say enough about Congressman Sherman showing how good we can be at a time when, we all see what's going on in Congress. Are we going to continue to provide food to the folks that need it through the Farm Bill? Are we going to continue to try to provide health insurance or health care to everyone that needs it? All of these things that I do believe at a local level sometimes we have to lead. In D.C., we have the highest coverage of health care for children in America, second highest health care for adults, for everyone in the country. And again, I believe that our country really needs a symbol like Washington, and that's why I'm honored that you've selected me to be here this evening. Thank you very much.